Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Puppet Master Month here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, folks, is probably going to be the first entry in the series I'm going in completely blind. Because, apparently, when I was doing my research on puppets and new character storylines, I stopped after the first 3 films. So, I don't have a single clue exactly who in the hell is going to be coming into this thing when it comes to puppets. I have no idea what in the hell the plot is. I know nothing. So, I really don't know if this is going to be a good movie or not. And I actually have friends who watched the entire series and they have told me I still have a couple of good films left. But, you know, we actually are beginning to get to that point where the series is now entering its 4th film. Yes, guys, tonight's film's from 1993. It's Puppet Master 4. Now, most film franchises, when they get up to part 4, that is usually when the problems begin to crop up. It happened with Hellraiser, it happened with Child's Play, it happened with Saw, it happened with Nightmare on Elm Street. 4th film is usually where things begin to fall apart and break down a little bit. So, I don't really know if this one's going to be a good episode or not, or well, actually, I'm going to assume I'm going to be able to at least get a good episode out of it, but I don't know if the movie itself is going to be any good. But there's only one way to find out, guys, and that is for me to sit down and actually watch it. So without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Puppet Master 4. Okay, this thing looks a little bit weird. It looks almost actually like it might be a puppet, but it looks a little bit more alien. I really should have done some fucking research on this fucking film. I really should have. So, this guy builds robots and laser guns in his spare time. I really don't know what the fuck to say. This, seriously, guys, is just a vast change from what the previous 3 films have offered. Which, honestly, is not, necessarily a bad thing, just a little bit strange. Well, guys, there actually is a slight positive here. We have almost come full circle, because the first film started off with a house full of psychics. Now we have a house, or rather we had a hotel with a bunch of psychics. Now we're in the same hotel, only now we have two scientists, a woman who apparently is training for fuck only knows what, and a channeler. So, psychics, channelers, it's kind of similar. Okay, I really hope that they actually explain what the hell's going on with the weird things in the fucking cave, because apparently they actually are the ones that are sending the alien fucking, like gremlin things out, but I don't know any other information about them. It just seems sort of out there with no real purpose. I hope and pray that they actually explain a little bit of that. Okay. It actually is sort of obvious. Rick here is having way too much fun with these fucking puppets. However, though, it is definitely cool. Wait a second now. Douchebag is leaving? He's leaving, but he doesn't get to die? Oh, man, that fucking sucks. I really wanted this. I really wanted this fucking guy dead. I really did, but apparently he's just gonna run off like a fucking puss. So, oh well. Wait a second. Did he actually use essentially a toy laser, which has already been established in this movie, does fuck all? Did he actually try to use that on this fucking thing? For a child prodigy, this guy sure is a retard. He really is. Wow. Alright, I can say this. Decapitron has the coolest looking head out of every one of these puppets. That's just fucking badass. Okay. That was Puppet Master 4. That was rather interesting. Let me pop out the disc and I can begin the review portion of this. Let's see. Here we go. Grab the disc here. Well, first of all, I should mention, first and foremost, that there's a huge tonal shift between what was seen in the first three films and what was seen in Puppet Master 4 here. Because the first three films were really serious and they were really dark. This one seemed a little bit more lighthearted in tone, and that's probably a good thing when you really think about it, because you seriously can only be dark for so fucking long with a series where basically toys are, alive and sentient. You really can only do so much with that and still remain dark and serious and everything else. Now, I should mention that if there's anyone out there who's like a die-hard fan of the Puppet Master films and you're trying to figure out canon, canon and continuity and timeline and all that shit, don't bother. Because this film essentially takes a whole lot of the continuity from the first three films and says fuck it and throws it right out the window. Allow me to just ask a handful of questions which were actually popping into my head as I was watching this. Why in the hell is Six Shooter there when he doesn't do anything? Why in the hell is he there without any sort of explanation as to where the hell he came from when he was nowhere in Puppet Masters 1 and 2? We saw his creation in 3, which was a prequel. And I would think that, since he wasn't in the first one, he was probably destroyed at some point between 3 and 1. But no, he's just there. A better question. Puppet Master 2 introduced us to Torch, and Torch was a brand new puppet. Where the fuck is Torch in all of this? Because Torch appeared nowhere. Why in the hell are the puppets willing to trust Toulon when the Jesus Christ, that plane is flying in a little bit low. Anyway, why in the hell are the puppets willing to trust Toulon when the last time they met him, if we were to talk about, continuity and chronology, he was fucking batshit and they had to kill him? Why in the hell is there a puppet in this film which died in Puppet Master 2 and we never see him rebuilt? It's just, my fucking God. Those are the sorts of questions which, if you happen to care about continuity, you are going to be driven absolutely insane by watching this film. However, if you actually are able to look past that, you will find a rather interesting movie. Alright? Acting. Acting was really good, save for one actress. It's the one who plays the channeler. She is a horrible, horrible actress, and really just her fucking performance just brings everything down. All right, almost everybody else actually knows how to act in some way, shape, or form. And if I'm not mistaken, the main character in Puppet Master 4, Rick, his name is Rick. It's like Rick Myers. Yeah, Rick Myers actually he actually apparently comes fucking back for the sequel, because his name's actually on the credits on the bottom of the case here. So hey, I honestly am willing to look forward to that, because Rick actually was a rather interesting character. Then we have the actor who plays the dark Egyptian god, who uses his minions to go out and control these little alien gremlin looking puppets. Now, this guy's acting is really hammy, but the thing is that it almost feels like it works. The costume that he wears, on the other hand, really doesn't. And that's because it's just basically him in a very large, very bulky cloak, and you can just see him just barely trying to move his arms in order to make it look like the god's skeletal arm, which was put on top of that, makes it actually look as if it's moving. It looks really fake, it looks really corny, and it might pull you out of the film a little bit. Special effects beyond that were all spot on and great, and once more I have to applaud the stop motion. I really do, because it's still really sound, and it still looks really good. trying to think if there's anything else. The soundtrack. The soundtrack, once more, is not quite as haunting as the first two. However, it actually stands on its own, and it works out really well. I also happen to like the fact that Rick has a penchant for listening to heavy metal, and there's a smattering of metal songs in there. I have no idea what the songs are, and I don't know the artists. I just know the songs sounded fucking awesome. I'm just gonna say that right now and just leave it there. Let's see, camera work. Well, camera work was really good, and that actually seems to be sort of a constant when we're talking about the Puppet Master films. Trying to think if there's anything else to talk about. Jesus Christ, I really just can't think of anything else to actually mention when it comes to the film. I would highly recommend it. And if you haven't seen any of the other Puppet Master films, Puppet Master 4 is actually a good jumping off point. Especially since Part 5, I believe, carries over directly from 4, which is a first for this series of films, because almost every other film basically tried to start fresh and was taking things in a different fucking direction and all this other crap. So I actually think that Puppet Master 5 should hopefully be, promising if it's anywhere near as good as what I just saw in Puppet Master 4. Now, I need to talk about this. Now, I actually am not able to actually talk about anything outside of the box set, because I don't know if you can find Puppet Master 4 on DVD, and I'm not sure if they've got and I'm not quite sure if they actually have a 3-pack similar to that midnight triple feature I was talking about in the last couple, where it was Puppet Masters 1, 2, and 3. I really don't know if they did another one where it was 4, 5 in Curse of, or 4, 5 in Retro, or 4, 5 in any other film in the series. I really don't have any clue, so I don't know if you can get it outside of this and the way out of print box set which came out before this one. So you might have to go onto Netflix to see this one, or you might have to BitTorrent it if you want to be fucking, if you want to be illegal about it. Now, the box set though, again, $30 price roughly for the box set, has 9 films. I have covered 4 of them, and even though I happen to find flaws in parts 2, and I did find a couple real minor continuity problems with part 4, I do believe that right now the box set is shaping up to be well worth it. Because mind you guys, again, $30 price tag for 9 films. The first 4 I can guarantee you are great. So if Part 5 is fantastic, I will definitely be able to tell you to pick up the set, because then at least half of the movies are great and well worth the price. So, yes guys, next time I'm going to be taking a look at Puppet Master 5, and I actually do have a thing or two to actually say about Puppet Master 5, but I'm going to hold off on that until the next episode, because naturally that's when I'm covering Puppet Master 5. So, until next time, guys, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.